I think Ariel, Lee. Yeah. Say hello to Ariel. Yeah. It's good to have you join us. You're the same Ariel as the one on Sunday, right? You're Lee, right? Look quite different in the morning. Welcome, welcome. Nathan, is this the first time for you to join us in the morning?
I can't remember.
I remember. Okay. So say hello to Nathan. Okay. So yeah. For Ariel, the morning session starts from 6:30 to 7:30. You can join us anytime between that. Then followed by the short puja. We will then observe administer the 5 precepts. The 8 precepts is optional. So as and when individuals would like to observe the 8 precepts, they'll request for it, yeah, by indicating in the chat. Then after that, we'll do a bit of sharing. Yeah, depends on whether there are questions or anything in particular to share. Before we go into questions, I'm sure most of you saw the news yesterday of the attack or the killing in the river valley. Yeah. One of the students sent me the news. Sometimes I hate to be correct. But in the past, how many years there has been mass shooting in US, you know? And sometimes people will say, look at the degradation of values in US, look at how messy the society is. And I often tell people that, we shouldn't be too quick to point fingers. We shouldn't be too haughty and think that we are any better. And I told them, it's not necessarily that we are more civilized or that we are less violent, but the fact that we don't have mass shooting is simply because we don't have easy access to guns. Yeah. I hate to be proven right, but this proves the point, Yeah. But what's going on here? Yeah. Why is this happening? From the article that was sent to me, it seems as though the Sec 4, I think it's a Sec 4 student who maimed the Sec 1 student, right? Yeah. It seems like there's no feud between them, and it was simply that the Sec 4 student appeared to have just, gotten an axe, hide in the toilet, and thought, whoever come in first, I shall kill that person. Yeah. I was just sharing with the volunteer teachers in the Singapore Buddhist Youth Mission. I shared with them about how the students, because they invited me to be their spiritual advisor for the Dharma school for children. So we have preschool, we have nursery, we have the primary school, secondary school. And the one thing I keep highlighting to them is let's not rush into teaching them like Dharma, Let's not worry about them, whether they can memorize the Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Path, I told them that one of the first things that perhaps we should do is let them have a good experience. Yeah, let them have a good experience of Buddhism. Yeah, because if they don't feel connected, then forget about learning anything. But even more importantly, just recently, just last last Saturday. Yeah. I was sharing with them that following up from the previous lessons, I told them in the past how many years I have been meeting different students, different people, students who has issue with dealing with their emotions and thoughts. Yeah. The two things that drives many people. I mean, it's not difficult to understand that emotions drive us. Yeah. But these days, our thoughts drive us also. So I told them, I said, learning Dharma must serve a purpose. It shouldn't be an end by itself, you know. Yeah. And let's not get into the rush of, oh, I want to attain Buddhahood to go and liberate the whole world. No, solve your own problem first. You know. And for that matter, don't be too eager to, I want to attain Arahanthood. Like they're primary school kids, what you want what you want to do? So I told them, as we teach them how to meditate, as we go through the lessons with them, perhaps get them to be aware of the bodily sensation. I told them for a start, to start off with, to learn to have more resilience towards bodily sensation. For example, when we meditate, meditation is not a natural state for most people, right? Most people don't wake up in the morning, or most people when you're a kid, you don't naturally just say, boy, why are you sitting still? No, I just like to sit still. Right? Quite naturally, kids, the moment they learn how to move around, they want to move around, you know? Even adults want to move around, you know? So the meditation is not a natural state. But in Buddhism, we say, because we like to move around, because we like the senses, that's why we are born as human. Not that we are born as human, that's why we are like that. The cause and effect is a bit opposite. Yeah. And so when we meditate, it's quite natural that we have this urge to fidget. Or over time, a bit of discomfort may arise. Yeah. Be it itchiness, numbness, aches, or sometimes if you meditate long enough, even excruciating pain. But actually not life-threatening. Yeah. But the aim of Buddhism, of meditation in Buddhism, is not to just experience pain to purify yourself. No. that's actually the ideology or the view of other schools. In Buddhism, you don't put yourself through pain to purify yourself. But but this pain arises because that's the way this body is. That given the right conditions, it can give you pleasant sensation. Given the right conditions, it can give you unpleasant sensation. Given the right conditions, it gives you neither painful nor pleasant sensation. We tend to gravitate towards pleasant sensation. No crime and shame in that. That's how our tendency is. Like, unless you are masochistic, unless you're wired wrongly, you know, biologists would say. Otherwise, we tend to gravitate towards pleasant sensation. Biologists would say because of evolution, because painful sensation evolved, and in fact, pain evolved to keep us alive. You know, biologists will tell you that. But that aside, as we experience pain or painful sensation or uncomfortable sensation, we have a tendency to be averse to it and then be repulsed to it and try to remove it immediately. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that also, because if you accidentally touch a burning kettle, you better remove it. You know, if you accidentally find yourself in contact with fire, you better remove it, your limbs. Otherwise, you'll just burn yourself. I always joke with students about how maybe 100 few 100,000 years ago, our early ancestors, human, proto-human or early human, some of them maybe when they hear a growling sound, they got curious and like, hey, maybe let's go and take a look. These humans got killed, died, and never passed on this gene. Never passed on this tendency to be curious about, go and look at tiger. So the ones who, when they hear, somehow they got frightened and then they run away, they survive. So we tend to be afraid of this evolution theory of biologists. But sometimes this misfire, yeah. So a bit of discomfort, then we shun away. A bit we are oversensitive to discomfort. We are not able to bear with discomfort. Yeah. So I told the volunteer teachers, maybe we can start off with that. Not that we want to torture people, but because in life you cannot always, not never, you cannot always have everything go your way, be it emotional, mental, or physical. Yeah. And physical is the easiest to overcome. And if you cannot even bear with that, good luck in your life, man. So I told them, a few months ago, I told them, let's start with getting them to be used to and be aware of bodily sensation, Yeah. Instead of just the moment they come back home, turn on the fan, turn on the aircon, yeah. To say, hey, can I live without aircon? Can I live without aircon? Nothing wrong with using aircon, yeah, but can you live without aircon? If you can not live without aircon, then you are stuck with aircon. You are slave to aircon. You are enslaved to it. Aircon never enslave us. We enslave ourselves to the aircon. Hey, but Shifu, anyway, the aircon is there. What's wrong with being enslaved to it? It's quite nice. Lee Kuan Yew said that the nominal temperature studies have found is about 24 degrees or 32 degrees. So aircon is the greatest invention. Lee Kuan Yew said that, that it allows us to work in the urbanized, small, urbanized environment and be more efficient. Yes, nothing wrong with that. But what happens if the aircon breaks down? Then how? Then you're going to get upset. Sure, it's okay. I mean, most people don't really get that upset, but then it means that you are handing over your emotions to the aircon. The aircon can determine whether you are happy or sad. It's that simple. Yeah, it's that simple. Think about all the times that we are not happy. It's usually not something super drastic also. It's just that things don't go our way. In the first noble truth, number 7, not getting what one wants. Yeah. The Buddhas summarize all the different kinds of suffering into different categories. And one of them is the summary of it. The summary of summary is basically, we don't get what we want, we are not happy. As I said, nothing wrong with pursuing what you want. As long as it doesn't harm anybody, yeah, in the short term, no problem. Yeah. But if we don't build up our resilience, then we will just busy ourselves with trying to change the whole world to be happy, instead of changing ourselves to be happy with the world. The Buddhist approach is the latter, in case there's any question or doubt. So I told them, let's get them to be more resilient towards their bodily sensation, be it a bit of heat, yeah, temperature go up, go down. Welcome to Singapore, tropical island in Asia. What to do? Why is it to be born here? Then last week I told them, let's get them to be more aware of their emotions. Yeah, from bodily sensation to emotions, or you can say mental experiences. And then ultimately, I told them, we want to get them to be aware of their thoughts. Yeah. But to be aware of emotions, to be able to manage your emotions, you need to be aware when you are okay. Most people want to deal with their anger only. And only when it arises, then they want to deal with it. It doesn't work that way. It's like saying that, oh, our army don't have to do any reservist training. We don't have to do any training at all. Only when people attack us, then we start training. Yeah, that's like what our parents always tell us, like, don't wait until exam, then you study. Right? It's the same thing. So why should we try to deal with our anger only when we get angry? Yeah, it may seem counterintuitive when you think about anger, because it's like, but normal days I'm not angry, or what is there to deal with? But that's the thing. We don't want to deal with our emotions, no, or learn to be aware of our emotions when we're not angry. So how can we be aware of the arising of anger? Arising means no anger to anger. If you're not aware of the no anger, how to be aware of anger, or the arising? Yeah, so, and then thoughts. Whether it's bodily feelings, emotions, or thoughts, we are driven by them. We are driven by them. But we don't have to be driven by them. We can ask ourselves, now, yes, there's this bodily sensation. Is this very important? Can I deal with it? Do I need to deal with it? These same three questions can be applied to our bodily sensation, our emotions, and our thoughts. Sometimes we have thoughts, right? Funny thoughts, right? Yeah. I always give the example of how people would sometimes say things like, feel like slapping your boss. Or more extremely, I feel like killing my boss. Yeah. I always say things like, slap you. But I say it as a joke. Of course, if you say it long enough, you might just do it. Aren't you all glad this is an online session? I'm going to slap you. Yeah, you all don't have the merit of being slapped by me. Only 2% got slapped by me in this whole life. Yeah, one is my sister, one is my girlfriend back then. Both were slapped by me because they exhibited behaviors where they lost their mind and put themselves in mortal danger. Yeah, slap them to wake up their idea. That was a slap of love. Oh, Jala, this is online. But back to the thing issue. I don't know what went through the mind of the Sec 4 student. Yeah, I really don't know. But I think some people, I mean, in the article, it says that he had this thought that he wants to do something. Imagine if we all learn to check our thoughts. That just because there's a thought doesn't mean you must act on it. Unfortunately, now in modern society, especially with the internet meme thing, there's this internet meme. You do it because you can. I would say whoever come up with this statement is really in trouble, no? Yeah, because a lot of people, I mean, this person is not solely culpable for all the stupid things that is done subsequently. Yeah, but it's a disaster brewing, you know, over the years. I've mentioned many years back about how when I had chance upon some clips on YouTube of of um of youths pranking each other and then laughing about it, or sometimes you see them, you know, and some of the pranks can be quite drastic. You know? Pranks are never nice, right? Yeah, I'm very glad Asian society, or at least Singapore, we're not really into pranks. Jokes is one thing, pranks is another thing. You see the sometimes they go through elaborate pranks. They hide inside something and then they scare people. Think about now, it may seem very benign and like, well, good, clean fun. Not so fun when you're on the receiving end. Not so fun when you are actually facing a lot of things in life. And then someone make a joke out of you. But the whole idea that it's okay to prank someone, to make someone look ridiculous, or to laugh at the expense of someone, that's cruelty. It's different in extent from stabbing someone, from maiming someone, but the direction is the same, that you're okay with someone suffering. So to me, this is brewing for a long time. It has, like, the youths, and this is not like last week, for many years, I've seen YouTube where kids film themselves pranking each other. And that's not the worst of it. They, sometimes they do stupid things, right? And then when the friends get hurt, you can hear the person filming laughing. When I watch it, wow, your backside, the lower spine tense up. Hokkien we say "kalun sun," but they're laughing. And then you have the crazy Russian youths hanging from high buildings, with one hand with a GoPro. I'm like, sometimes I have to like stop. You may wonder, like, why is Sifu watching all this? If you don't understand, if you don't know what's going on out there, you don't know what kind of crazy idea people have, And to me, it is a domino, no? The first domino may be a small thing, but then it can build up, no? It's a snowball effect. Everything up to this point. Yeah, so I wonder what difference it will make. But I like to think that we can make a difference if we start with ourselves to be more aware of our emotions, more aware of our thoughts, and not to act on our emotions. You have certain emotions, you feel like doing something, don't take a step back. You have certain thoughts of, oh, like this, like that, then like this, like that. Learn to observe that this is a habitual tendency of ours. But thoughts itself, concepts itself, is insubstantial until you make it real. And we don't have to make it real. We don't have to make it real. Yeah. And if we start with ourselves and we, change ourselves, perhaps people around us will start to notice a difference. And they may start to wonder, like, hey, maybe I can, like, hey, how come there's a change in you? And maybe they may start to wonder, like, hey, how can we do this also? Yeah. I'm sure there'll be some who will say, hey, maybe we should make it a national program. I don't know about that. Maybe it will work. But look at how successful it is, the No Litter campaign. Since I was in primary school, there's a No Litter campaign 30 over years ago, 30 over 40 years ago. It's very good intent, yeah. But ultimately, we fall back to just finding people. And because there's, if you look at the Noble Eightfold Path, the Buddha start off the whole path with right view. Your mindset. If your mindset don't change, or at least you don't adopt or try to test drive a different mindset, your subsequent behaviors cannot change, at least not in the long term. Yeah. I think I speak for everyone that our hearts and prayers goes out to the family of the student who got killed. But we should also extend compassion towards the Sec 4 student. Something must have gone, off. Not necessarily in this life, maybe in the past life. Yeah. And it perhaps even more importantly to future potential ones, that may all find peace, find clarity, develop wisdom in their life, develop love and compassion for themselves and others. May all cherish others just as we cherish ourselves. May all be well and happy. 愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿得智慧真明了，
愿得智慧真明了。
普愿罪障悉消除，
我愿罪障悉消除，
世世常行菩萨道。
世世常行菩萨道。
阿弥陀佛。
阿弥陀佛。
Till we meet again, may be guided and protected by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And as always,
乖乖。
have a peaceful Haji ahead. Take care, stay safe.
Thank you,师傅。Bye.
Bye.
Thank you，师傅。
谢谢师傅，拜拜。Thank you，师傅。
拜拜。
Bye.
拜拜。